This is your phrase. Geek is the new sexy. What you mean by that? Because on my time, geek was the opposite of being sexy.
Nowadays, everyone wants to be a geek. They want to collect things, they want to read, they want to do the cool stuff.
I just want to make sure that I heard correctly, because you didn't mention women consider you to be sexy, or it's I'm attracting the other geeks.
When you share the things that you like, you are sharing all those good feelings and you're sharing your happiness. What is this? What is this type of happiness? I want to experience it too. I want to be near him.
You are using exactly the opposite perspective, which is this new person, he needs to know about my passion about board games, right? What is a geek and a nerd?
Adults who don't play anymore and who don't do the things they like just because they're not meant for their age are frustrated adults.
Why do you buy all those Legos? And you can see on the back, I've got Millennium Falcons and AT-ATs back then. There's that excuse. It's for the kids. BookTok, Bookstagram.
And you have also the Booktube.
So do you think these influencers are shaping the publishing industry, and how?
I think they are.
Is there a difference between this phenomenon compared with influencers that talk about board games?
But also the publishers are seeing that people are reading it. So they want to make more of that.
If you had to force everyone to read one book, what book would it be? I have a problem, Miguel. I need to confess to you and everyone listening. I have more than 70 One Piece decks because I created a deck specifically for every leader. So many leaders, which one I want to choose is like half an hour just to choose 4 decks to play. What's the most valuable card that you have in your collection? Got Shanks Alternative Art version 3. You know the manga rare?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth like, this is a 7,000 card box. All the deck here. I hope the thieves are not watching this video. On the side, this one has all the side parts of the starter decks. I will use One Piece to watch One Piece.
Yeah.
In theory, is cut in a way that it becomes faster.
I've seen it raw.
I never had the opportunity to discuss with someone why the game is so successful. Besides the IP, not sure what trends in TCGs in general you're seeing and exciting you now. No mana like Magic, what you have with the Dawn system in One Piece.
Yeah.
The games are being shaped around the leader concept. We could spend a whole night here talking about
One Piece. The events are full of spoilers.
Yes. How can you be a nurse and still have time to have YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, influencer, play One Piece? So what's the secret? Which drug do you take? Miguel, thank you very much for your time and willingness to join the show tonight.
Thank you.
So I'm very proud to finally have a chance to speak to you again. It's been a long time, since 2024, right?
Yeah. 1 year and something. And a lot of water through the bridge. Meanwhile,
under the bridge.
Under the bridge,
I didn't get the chance to see you in 2025 in the Lisbon Game Show, but
I was
nonetheless,
there in the weekend. I think in Sunday. I was there Sunday. Yeah.
I didn't attend this time. So, but anyway, thank you for joining. For those that don't know you yet, so I have some hard time to introduce you, but basically from your profile, you are very proud to present yourself as a geek. And when you on your profile, you talk about books, about board games, about card games, specifically One Piece, which you are a big fan.
Yeah.
So I tried to present you in a different way, but I could not move away from yourself presenting as being this geek, including you also say that, and this is your phrase, Miguel, geek is the new sexy, So I really want to understand what you mean by that, because on my time, geek was the opposite of being sexy, but you turn around the sentence this way. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think that nowadays, being a geek, it's sexy. Yeah, you can. Everyone wants to be it. Right, like in the 50s, that everyone wants to be sexy, but nowadays everyone wants to be a geek. They want to collect things, they want to read, they want to do the cool stuff. It's not like you're at the margin anymore and you are that nerd, that geek that stays there in the basement of their parents and then do the things. I think people look at geeks now in a more attention way, and they see, oh, these people, they like their stuff. They don't go minding other people businesses, and it's cool to hang out with them. They know things. They keep us entertained. They always bring a board game with them when we invite them to dinner. So it's good.
It's good. Okay. So you were saying so many things that I wanted to ask a follow-up question. First of all, what is the difference for you between being a geek and being a nerd? What is a geek and a nerd? Because you use both words there.
Yeah, I think that from what I've researched, geeks are a more obsessed type of nerds. They like their things, and they like their things a lot. Like, for instance, a TCG player or a reader that is a geek. He's just not reading and being that bookworm that stays in the library and reads books and buys books, but is obsessed with them, and it talks to them of them to their friends, to the people that surround them, and it's kind of a, I think, obsession, yeah, but in a healthy way.
Or passion.
More passion, yeah, more like that.
Mm-hmm. And a nerd. What would a nerd be then?
I think the nerd, it's like the same thing as the geek. He likes the books, he likes the Lego, he likes to play board games, but not in such a passionate way that he
Okay.
shares with everyone.
Okay. So I think I've heard that differentiation once, which is the geek would be the person that puts that passion and goes deeper.
Yeah.
He wants to know everything. He wants to collect everything about a certain topic, which makes them a geek. It's that passion, that drive. Well, I'm not sure if the nerd is more a superficial person when it comes to these topics, but at least the topics would be things associated with like mathematics or things that normal people would consider not interesting. The nerd likes to explore those topics.
Yeah, like the science,
More,
astronomics, and
yes.
yeah.
But anyway, I'm not an expert in these things. So, and I guess that on a daily basis, these terms are used in very free way. Everyone uses what they feel it's the right word. But I like to know the essence and the origins. But you chose geek, right? So you present yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a geek. I'm a sexy. And another thing that you mentioned in your introduction was that other people see the geek as being the sexy, the one that they want to be, etc. But I just want to make sure that I heard correctly, because you didn't mention women consider you to be sexy or to be the one that they are very happy for you to bring the board game, etc. Because if you mention sexy, it's sexy for anyone that you're trying to attract, right? So do you think that if I'm that geek, people that I like, I'll be attracting them being that geek with board games and card games? Or
Yeah, I
it's
think
I'm attracting the other geeks?
a bit of both.
Okay.
Because being a geek, you have your passion and you share it, and when you share the things that you like, you are sharing all those good feelings, and you're sharing your happiness, and when you share happiness, other people tend to bond with you.
Wow,
So
that's an amazing answer. That's an amazing answer. Well, you show the confidence, you show the happiness, and then that attracts other people. Those traits. It's not just a matter of attracting people that have the same taste as you, geek tastes, but you can go beyond that by showing that confidence.
yeah,
Interesting.
and
Interesting.
it's just not the confidence, it's the I really think it's the happiness, and it's like, you're happy when you're playing, or you're happy when you're reading, or when you're talking about books. So when you do that with other people, they tend to feel like, what is this? What is this type of happiness? I want to experience it too. I want to be
Oh,
near him, because
okay.
I want to learn more. I think it goes more in that way.
That's
And
very interesting. Yeah, because I think, and I may be speaking for myself as well, but when you feel like, oh, this is a geeky topic, probably I will abstain myself to speak about that in a broader audience, because I'm not sure how other people will react to that, right? So, for example, I don't like to publicly talk about board games to everyone because I don't know if this new person is going to be like, oh, board games, that's a very geeky topic. So this person may be geeky. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, and I don't want to explore that. But you are using exactly the opposite
Yeah.
perspective, which is this new person, he needs to know about my passion about board games, right? And then he will be amazed how passionate I talk about that, and that may look sexy, which is interesting. I've never seen that
Yeah.
perspective.
I really think that talking about these things that we like, that we geeks, we like board games, playing cards, Lego, and sometimes other people they tell, oh, you like things that are meant for children, and I always say that I almost get angry, and I say that adults who don't play anymore and who don't do the things they like just because they're not meant for their age are frustrated adults. That's why we have so much frustrated adults, because they quit doing the things they love.
Okay.
And if it's okay for someone to have an hobby like hunting or fishing, it's okay to have a hobby like playing board games
Or building Lego, which is
or building Lego. Yeah,
Mhm. Even Lego now says on the boxes, adults welcome,
adults
right?
welcome. Yeah,
Yes, because they know who has the money to pay that, not kids, not kids.
yeah,
Okay, good. So that's interesting indeed, for you not to close your inner child and let it go outside and be happy with that. Um, there's another excuse which I'm not sure if you could use, but I can, which is, why do you buy all those Legos? And you can see on the back there, I've got Millennium Falcons and AT-ATs back there. There's that excuse. It's for the kids. You heard
yeah.
that? Yeah, it's for the kids. Yeah. Why do you need so many One Piece decks? It's for the kids to play, right?
Yeah, I don't
Well,
have kids, so
you
I
don't
have to
have that
use it.
excuse yet.
I
Yes.
don't have that excuse, so I can
Mhm.
just buy them for me and say they are for me, and being proud of that.
Okay. So one day, if you end up um, uh, not being able to use that excuse of the inner child anymore, you can add the new one, which is, this
Yeah,
is for the kid, not for me. Lego,
no,
no,
no, I don't do that. It's for the
for
kids. They
for the
like it
kids,
so
for sure,
much.
for sure, for sure.
Family time.
Okay, so now I understand. Now I understand why you probably I understand why you started this internet journey. Because if you like to speak about these topics, if you feel like you are passing that good energy, etc., was that the drive for you to start this internet journey, talking about books and other stuff that you like?
It started with the books, and it was my wife. I always posted in my personal Instagram a photo of what I was reading.
Hmm.
And someday she told me, why don't you make a page and talk about it? You make a post, you already do it, you take the photo, and you talk about a little bit about the book. You review it, you give your opinion, and it started like that. It started like in 2017 with
Oh,
her, with some colleagues, and we were five, and we all like to read, and we make a Instagram page, and we were sharing the account and posting things there. Eventually, it ended up, and during COVID, I was starting to feel that that need to do things, and say, why don't I do it again now by myself? And Capitol M started, and I already knew the formula about the books, about talking to the publishers, and what people like, and where were the community, and it was easier.
okay. By Capital M, it's Capital. Is it Miguel M Miguel? That's the idea.
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
thought
like
so.
it's like the happy chapter of my life.
The happy chapter of your life. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's
You have so many books that you've shown throughout these years in your profile. But if you had to describe specifically your reading tastes in 3 words, what are the true things that you like, Miguel?
the true things that I like, and that I usually read. It's fantasy, it's thrillers, and it's policial books. Um, and I would go like that. It is the three genre that I mostly like and I mostly read.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when do you read a book? What makes that book being recommendable for you to bring it to the channel instead of just enjoyable?
I always share the books that I read, even if I don't like them so much. I always tend to explain the things that I didn't like and the things that I liked in the book. Because someone else might be attracted and might want to read just because of those things, even if it's the things that I didn't like in the book. I think that always sharing and saying, "Oh, I've read this book and I liked it a lot. It has these plots and it has this theme, and it's good to read because you can read it on the beach. It's easy, something like that." Or just telling, "Oh, I read this book. I didn't like it so much. It has this plot and it talks about this and that. This particular detail made me a little bit uncertain about the book, and I didn't like it so much because of this. It had too much romance or something like that." But some people, they like romance and they are going to read it just because of it.
Okay. Now, like as a true influencer, so you said the good and the bad, and people make their own decisions, right?
Yeah.
So this is a phenomenon that we've seen in the recent years, right? Things like the book talks, Insta books. What's the proper name for Insta books? Instagram books?
Book Instagram.
Book Instagram. Yes.
Bookstagram.
Bookstagram. BookTok.
Yeah.
Bookstagram. So you can see immediately it's not something that I follow.
And you have also the Booktube.
The Booktube. Okay.
Yeah, it's people that in YouTube they make videos about books.
Okay. So do you think these influencers are shaping the publishing industry, and how?
I think they are, because nowadays we tend to see a lot of publishing about certain areas, and they are very readable about the young people that are on BookTok and Booktube and Bookstagram. They are talking about the young adult romances, and they are talking about smut books, that are books that have erotic context and things like that. And that's what is selling, because people are reading. So they are reading because they see on BookTok and see on Bookstagram in the internet, and then publishers know it. And if people are reading it, it's going to sell. So they need to put more in the market.
Yep. Is there a difference between this phenomenon of the book talk and the others compared with influencers that talk about board games or computer game? Is there a difference?
I think that it's not like a difference, because board games, they are made in a more creative way. So things like this board game is getting good, so they're gonna buy it, and they're going to and the board game gets sold out because of the influence of the people that are playing it and that are showing it.
Right.
But in books, there is always the making of a book and the writing of a book. You can go in that genre, in that theme, and you do not have to attend to certain rules like in board games, because you have to play test it and present it to the publishers and see if the game works. It's a more tricky process for a board game to like create a genre and say, okay, now fillers or worker placements are the thing, so we need to make more of them. But you have to attend to the rules, and it needs to be playable. It is not just like, I'm doing it. I need to do it right. But the books, it's easier, because if you go on okay, I'm going to do romances with cowboys. Now everyone is reading and talking about it. So you can just put romance, cowboys, and you make several different stories, and you're there.
Just because you follow the trends on BookTok, you can use that to also shape or drive you through certain types of creation journeys.
Yeah, and you can go on that creation journey, and you can start writing about it, or you can start reading that type of books. But also, the publishers are seeing that people are reading it,
The trend.
so they want to make more of that
Okay.
to sell.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't apply well to board games indeed. People cannot follow trends and just out of the sudden produce a game. So thank you for explaining that. So if this is a trend, right? What are other trends in publishing that excite you or worry you at the moment?
I think that to worry me, there's not much.
Not AI, for example.
No, I think not AI. I think that the publishers are they have attention on that, and they are reading the books that they get, and they are trying to make sense of them if were written by AI or don't. But I think that AI is a tool, and you have to be good to use that tool, and you have to learn how to use it. It's like using a wrench or a hammer. You are not unscrewing bolts with an hammer. You have to learn what it does and how it works. And I think AI it's the same. You have to learn how it works, what it is meant for, and it's just like write me a book. But if a writer writes a paragraph and says, "Oh, I think there's something missing here," or "I think I'm not putting this right. Let me pass it through the AI and see if it gives me a tip how to improve it, or what am I doing wrong." And he can have that uh, fast opinion there, instead of like, "Oh, take my 20 pages, read that, and tell me your opinion to a friend or to someone that they know." And they can have that fast opinion there with the AI tool. Uh, but that's the thing. You have to put the human in it.
To
You
use the
cannot just
tool.
put, yeah, to use the tool.
To
It's
use
not
the tool
just
properly.
make the tool do it.
Okay. If you had to force everyone to read one book, force in a positive way,
Yeah.
what book would it be?
Yeah, it's The Shadow of the Wind, from Carlos Ruiz Zafón. It belongs to a saga of 4 books that it's the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, and it's a book that talks about a book. So it's quite good in that way, because we are when we have books that talk about books, they're very magical, because we tend to enter in them in a different way, because it's
Like
it's
Inception.
magical. Yeah, it's like an Inception. Yeah,
The dream inside the dream.
yeah.
Interesting.
There's a book inside the book, and you are reading it, trying to figure out about it. It's quite good.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, never heard of that. People reading a book inside a book and describing it
Yeah.
somehow. Interesting. Okay. So I guess you just influenced more 1,000 people to just follow up that book as an influencer there. What about TCGs, Miguel?
TCGs. I started playing TCGs back when I was a teenager, and I started with Magic: The Gathering, and I quit
When did
playing.
you start?
I
Which
started.
step was it?
I was saying a teenager, but no, I think I was like 9, 10 when I started learning it, and I always brought a deck to school. And once someone stole my deck, I left it there on a table, and someone took it, and I still don't know who.
What was the set? Which edition was it at the time?
Oh, I don't remember. It was previous. I know that when I stopped playing, we were on the Rise of Eldrazi and
Okay.
Shards of Alara, something like
So
that. It
that's
was on
2008, 9, 10. Shards of Alara.
yeah,
Around that.
yeah.
Which now?
I was playing in that time, but I think I quit it in 2016, right before I got to no, not 16. 2011. No, I was in. I don't really know.
Did you play for 2 years or more? Because 2011.
In 11 I stopped. Yeah, in 11 I stopped because it was when I entered the university to study nursing. But I was playing like in like 2002, around that 2004, around that I started playing.
2002. Okay.
2004.
2004. So that's
Yeah.
what that's
It's the
Kamigawa.
starting.
Kamigawa. No.
Yeah, Kamigawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember Kamigawa.
Kamigawa. Yes. So yeah, my timeline still works apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So then Magic, you went in, went out, and what else? What else do you play?
I stopped around the time I went to university. I kept all the things with me, but then in 2023 I came across One Piece, and I've seen people opening boosters in live streams, and I was like, oh, this might be interesting. And then it came up the live action TV show of One Piece, and I saw it, and it was good, and I liked it, and I thought, why not starting it? So it was like November 2023. I bought my first deck. It was Yamato ST9, and it's been being a snowball since then.
Good leader. That's a good leader. Hits hard. Double strike. Right?
It was not double strike Yamato, but
No?
the other one. No, it's the other one that if she had a Dawn and 2 or less lives, she gained plus 1,000 power in the opponent's turn.
Okay. The other one is.
It was not good. It was not good to start, and then I started playing blue,
Nami.
red blue Vivi.
Vivi. Okay.
From OPO4, and it was terrible.
She can't attack, right? You need to send others.
In OPO5, I tried Bello Betty. It was quite good, but then I found Nami. The only deck that had a different winning condition, and it was on the auto mill format, and I played it a lot until it got banned.
Got banned? Oh, I don't follow the ban list, so
it got banned last year, like in October, something like that. And since then, I was playing Ace in OP13, and now OP14 that came up last week. I'm trying to make the Boan Cock deck. It's blue and yellow, so it's going to be. It has a lot of triggers and a lot of thingies to do, so it's going to be fun.
I stopped at OP12, so I haven't bought yet 13 and 14. I'll eventually get there, but not yet. Because I have a problem, Miguel. I need to confess to you and everyone listening. I have probably more than 70 One Piece decks because I created a deck specifically for every leader, and each set 4 or 5 leaders plus 28 starter decks plus 3 or 4 promo leaders, and yes, I have a deck for each leader. They are not competitive. They are not tournament ready. It's just I get all the cards from the box. I aggregate them by type of pirate, right? That works with every leader. And I go after the singles that I don't have, including alternative arts, etc. And then I create a deck, and I play with the kids, right? I have some house rules for playing 4, 2 against 2. Yeah. House rules when it comes to the last hit, etc. And that's how I play. So unfortunately, Nami doesn't work well in this format because you cannot win just by cleaning your deck. You still need to have your partner winning, etc. So Nami is a deck that I don't play much, but the rest works perfectly, and the kids love it, right? And they love to. It's so many choices. Like, so many leaders. Which one I want to choose? Is like half an hour just to choose 4 decks to play, But yes, that's what I like to do with One Piece. It's to use all the cards and all the leaders.
I don't just play. I play and I collect. I don't collect in that way. I collect like every time that a new edition comes, I start to put. I collect every play set of the card, 4 of each card, and then I collect it that way. I have a binder for each edition with 4 cards of each, even
Mhm.
the leaders, and it's just to stay pretty in the binder.
Okay.
And I also do that with promos and the starters. Alternative arts, I don't collect in that
Too
way. I
expensive.
don't go
Too
after them.
expensive. It's crazy,
Yeah,
crazy. Some of them. Yeah.
they're too expensive. And if I get them on a booster, yeah, I keep them. Unless some friend of mine they want them for their deck or something or for their collection, because I have friends they collect 1 of each alt art. So if I get the alt art and they are needing it, okay, I we come to an agreement.
Mhm. What's the most valuable card that you have in your collection?
The most valuable card in my collection is a special card that I got as soon as I start playing. I bought a deck, and after that, I bought a double pack of OPO4. And in that double pack, it was the special Boan Cock from OPO1. And it's
Mhm.
now on its, I think, 500.
500? Okay.
Yeah.
One of my kids opened a OP01 deck booster, and he got Shanks Alternative Art version 3. You know, the manga rare?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth like 1,000 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite a hit. I also got the Sabo later on. I think it's OP3 alt art and
OP4.
OP4.
The yeah, the
Not
manga,
the manga rare.
the
Yes,
black sabo. Yeah,
yeah,
it's OPO4.
Sabo, which doesn't. It's not worth as much. But yeah, those were good hits. It basically paid the first 4 boxes or 5 from the investment in. Oh, it's already end game. And you gave me defeat, huh? 79 against 65. That's good. That's
Was a
good.
good.
So you were rusty, didn't play for long, but then now
I didn't
you
play for long,
you
and it was hard to keep up with the conversation and the
that's
game.
a challenge. That's a challenge. But anyway, then it doesn't feel that affect you much because you won. Do you accept a rematch for us to continue our conversation, Miguel?
Yes,
Okay,
let's go.
let's start that. And I'm gonna show you something. I don't have the cards here nearby. It's on a binder.
Yeah,
But I have something here that I would like to show you because it's not every day that I speak with One Piece fans, from a fan to a fan. So let me show you something while the game starts. Okay. I told you about 70 decks, right? So I have 2 boxes. This is a 7,000 card box,
yeah,
which I'm trying that this doesn't. Which I try to decorate it with the starter decks. You see, this is the
yeah.
first sticks, and then I also cut out the faces from the starter decks and I decorate around here, as you can see, and it's a work in progress.
It's good. It gives you a look of what might be inside.
This is how it looks inside. All
Yeah,
the decks here and separated by. I hope the thieves are not watching this video.
they're not.
And they're not. I hope so. I hope that in Algarve no one is around you here. So it's like this. You have. I like to put the leader with a sleeve that corresponds to the color. So this is OP09 Luffy. I think it, and in this case, that's also something that I do. If I don't have yet a deck that is truly compatible with the leader, and if the leader
Yeah,
can play with the same deck from another leader, I just join these 2 leaders in the deck, right? So you may say, okay, maybe that Luffy doesn't go well there. I don't care. I don't have a deck proper for him as well. So this is how I store them, and you can have like 40 decks. 40 decks probably. You tell me if it looks like 40 decks. And I have 2 of these boxes.
yeah. It can go around that. Yeah, I would say 10 each row. Yeah, it could fit there. I have like now um 3, 4, 5 decks made, ready to play.
Okay, so you for example, you spoke about play sets. That's something that I don't invest, right? I don't go after the play set. So then you see how competitive these decks are, right? Because there are no play sets of the key cards. It's just what I get in the boxes, and that's it. So this is the second box, which I'm continuing the journey of the starter decks. And then on the side, this one has all the side parts of the starter decks from 0-1 all around. And it ends up here on the 28.
I have to confess that I store every empty box of One Piece. I have all the starter decks empty boxes in the shelf.
They look amazing in the shelf. I know.
Like books, they're all in a row.
They look like manga books.
And even the boxes, they are there. I figure out some way. I need to figure out some way of putting them here in my office and for them to stay okay and to stay in a good way of showing. Okay, I opened one of these boxes, and it's good. It's done.
So if you played Magic, and I know I've seen from your channel you also tried other card games like Lorcana, you have some Pokemon collect, and then you stopped here on One Piece with all these investments, etc. Is it because you are a One Piece anime fan, or
that
what's happening?
The One Piece, and it was when I restarted with the TCG games. It was with One Piece, and then I started collecting some sets of Pokemon, like an ETB or something, and I tend to catch up and to see. It is a bit of nostalgia because back then Pokemon was coming up in the anime when I was a kid. So it's good to have that feeling of seeing the cards and seeing the Pokemons. But One Piece was the game that really made me start in the TCG games again. And we have a store here in the Algarve, and I start going there, and the community was so welcoming that it was easy to stay, because I played there, like, it's gonna be 3 years this November. And everyone, it's so nice, and we go out together, and it's not just a community, we're friends, so it's easy now.
Do you think the One Piece game has something that is so different from the other ones that make you be a fan?
It really started with the seeing people opening, and then I saw the franchise, the IP. It's huge. You have the live action that I start seeing, and then I started with the anime. 1,150 episodes, and I already catched up to them. And
I'm still in Zoo right now.
Okay,
not far
Zoo
away.
Is good.
I'm still in Zoo.
Zoo is good. And the anime, it's very magical. You can empathize with the main characters. You can empathize with the story, and it's good and you can see a bit of the world there. It's not just a cartoon. It's you have their real problems that are happening now and that happen in our world. So and besides that, I think there's the thing that nowadays One Piece is a bit everywhere. You see sports team doing crossovers and with One Piece. You see rebels in Indonesia using the straw hat flag as the symbol of rebellion against the dictatorship. You see many references everywhere, so I think it's hyping.
It's becoming mainstream, like similar to Dragon Ball, that everyone knows.
I think even more.
More? I think so.
Yeah, I think even more.
Okay. Interesting, because I think Dragon Ball is now goes beyond just anime fans. Everyone knows the characters, but for One Piece, I still don't feel it that people know it so well. At least the circle that around me.
Yeah, I think that Dragon Ball had a really good thing, that it came to Portugal and it was translated um, to Portuguese, and when we had those jokes from
The
the
actors.
people that made the voices, the actors, and it was good. It felt cozy. It felt at home. But One Piece, it doesn't have that. We
Mhm.
don't have the Portuguese version of it, so people might not know it because of that. Because you have to be very specific, and you have to or you came up across it, and you see a lot of animes, and you have the platforms to see them. Or now it tends to get a bit lost. But I think that in the future, Netflix will be doing a reboot of the anime of One Piece from the start with less
Shorter,
episodes,
shorter, no filler.
shorter. Yeah. So no fillers, more paced. So I think that people that don't know yet One Piece, they will, and it's gonna giving a bigger hype
Okay.
than it already is.
So I confess I use, and here's the recommendation for everyone. I use One Piece to watch One Piece.
Yeah,
In theory, is cut in a way that it becomes faster.
I've seen it raw.
Raw. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
if one day on the cards there are some filler characters appearing, I won't know who they are because um, I'm, I'm hoping that One Piece cuts everything out that doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
value.
think One Piece cut the things until Wano. I think that Alf Wano forward, it's not cut.
Not cut. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Um, yep. So I wanted to go deeper here on One Piece, the card game, because I think it's an important topic for people that may be listening to this and they've never played, but they hear about this success of this game because let's be realistic, it's one of the most successful Bandai card games, right? More
Yeah,
than probably Digimon, more than Dragon Ball, definitely
yeah.
more than Gundam, which I don't think it will survive. And I, w- I never had the opportunity to discuss with someone why the game is so successful. Besides the
I th-
IP.
yeah, I think it has a lot to have in relationship with the IP because it brought a big community. And having a big community, it makes the game grow because you have places where you play, you have people to talk about the game and to play with, and that's what mainly makes the game. I think it's the people. And the thing that we can see that when we go play One Piece and we have the opportunity to do it, people that somehow watched One Piece and followed the anime. And in the other day, I saw like a study, those internet studies that say that people that watch anime, they tend to be nicer and to empathize more because they kind of understand the problems and they know how to cope with them.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that the relationship between anime and the people, they are a bit like that. They are more empathic. They are more nice, even though they are competing. They can show you a good time at the table, and now you're my opponent, and I'm playing against you. But like I'm playing and I'm talking with a stranger. Like I was playing in Spain and Italy, the regionals, the big tournaments,
Wow.
and it was good because we were there. We saw like a pavilion with 124 people there playing, liking the same things as I did, and playing the same game. And it's good to know people, to go there and to make friends. And I think one part is that it's the IP that brought people and the people made the game. And
Mhm.
the other thing now that it's happening, it's because of this. I think One Piece is growing. Now I don't know if in a good way because um, the so-called scalpers are coming, um, and because they see the value in One Piece and that it's a game that is still growing, and they started to enter the game, the big collectors, and to buy um, closed product and closed boxes just to do some revenue then and let's see how the game evolves.
Let me just pick my piece here because this needs to go to the negatives. Thank you for that, Miguel. Okay. I would like to ask you, because you see and you are on game stores or TCG stores, and I don't normally go to those places, but you should see the trends happening around you, etc. Not sure what trends in TCGs in general you're seeing and exciting you now, but I can give you one that I see myself, and you tell me if you agree, and then you tell me yours, which is I think there is a trend of changing the games when releasing new games, which is, first of all, no mana like Magic, for you not to be mana screwed or mana floated. You just have a constant, predictable mana source, okay, that you need to manage, and you don't need to have a strategy around how to have mana, what you have with the Dawn system in One Piece.
Yeah.
And the second thing is the games are being shaped around the leader concept, right? It's always the leader and the deck that works around the leader. And even Magic the Gathering is changing to Commander, right? Commander is the main format now. And Commander is basically there's a leader and the deck that works around that commander, which I like a lot. It facilitates my life. So, it's you get the leader, you just need to know what works around this leader, and that's it. You don't need to plan decks in a crazy way. And there's always that excitement to know the next set, which leaders will be there. Oh, they're going to finally release Emu. Yeah, finally the leader Emu, etc. So, and basically it the scopes down for me the amount of decks that you can have. It's just the leaders, and that's it. And you get the cards for the leaders, and it facilitates my life because I don't have that many time and money to invest in any direction. So it just gives me a few paths, and I like that.
Yeah, and it's about TCGs. You have like that. You have the games with unpredictable mana, like Magic the Gathering. You don't know if the cards will come up in your hand. You have the fixed amount of mana, like the Bandai games with the Dawns and so on. And you have like the ones that you have the cards, try to get more cards to make more mana, like in Star Wars or Lorcana, that you can put the cards down for
you
the
select
mana.
some to go there, but there will be something, right? Even Dragon Ball is there. Dragon Ball, you convert the cards into energy. So it's the same system. It's choosing the mana, but the mana will be there.
Yeah, but not having. I think the having the mana fixed, like you have this type, this amount of dawns, and you are up always. The maximum is 10. It tends to create. You have to have a more strategy to put the cards and to know which play you have to make, because you have limited mana. You don't have 12, 13, 14 mana, and you can do all the plays. You have to know exactly what we will be doing then to do, because if you don't do it, it might not be the right play, or you might discover a new right play to do with that amount of dawns that you are in your turn. I think that trend about the fixed amount of mana, it's good.
And it came with Hearthstone, right? The Blizzard game, Hearthstone.
Yeah, played Hearthstone a little bit, not too much.
I also played just a little bit, but I remember they were the ones introducing that first round 1 mana, second round 2, third round 3. I think they were the first, right? I don't remember any other game.
I think from what I remember, I think it was the first game I played with that system.
Yes.
I don't play.
If you do the exercise, so Pokemon, you have the energies, so it's kind of mana screwed. If you, it could happen. I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh, so I'm not sure how the resource systems work in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Neither.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about the old ones, how they work. I may be wrong, but at least Hearthstone is a clear reference for me of this system of fixed mana. What do you see then in terms of trends besides this change in games and mana systems? Do you see anything else different?
I think there's a bit of like in One Piece and in the other Bandai card games now a bit of bluff game.
Bluff game.
Because because you can defend with the cards in your hand. You can
the
put
counters.
the counter card. Yeah. And you don't know what the other player has. And you can see that if it drops out a 2K or a 1K, and you never know if they have more or if they're trying to bluff you and, oh, they're taking all the lives. Maybe they don't have nothing. Or maybe they do and just trying to make you attack with all your characters. So there's always that bluffing that's interesting in the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Magic, if you play against certain colors, you always never knew if there was a counter spell there or direct damage that would kill your character before you, in response of something. But now I understand what you're saying. So now the game, the core of the game also includes that bluffing part, right? Which is you really need to, which makes the game, if you look closely, it's very flexible. So, the cards could be used for creatures to attack or characters to attack, or they could be used for counters, right?
Yeah, they can be used for counters, sometimes just for discard for other cards effects. And it's very flexible in that way. Even the cards and the archetypes of the cards with the colors, like you have red that's more aggressive and more rush into the game, green that controls with rested cards, unrest, and that type of mechanic, blue that is buy and discard cards,
black
purple,
lower the costs to kill under certain
black cost. Black lower the cost to kill, purple reduces you put dons away to do effects, and yellow it plays with the lives,
which is very dangerous.
Yeah,
yellow probably is the most difficult color for it to work around, because playing with life,
it's tricky.
Even the dons, about flexibility, even the dons, you can, instead of using it, you can just put that on the characters and just buff everyone to attack stronger, right? So it's pretty clever. Yes, we could spend a whole night here talking about One Piece. Yes, because the game is really good, and you just realize that once you play. And I started playing without having watched a single episode of One Piece, without knowing who those characters were. So if everyone goes to my channel and see the unboxing of the first starter decks, I'm looking at the cards like, Sanji, I look at the Kaido leader like, Kaido, looks like a big. I'm clueless who Kaido is. I haven't yet seen Kaido where I am on the
for
anime.
me, it was the same. I was blank. I was seeing the things blank. But later, when I start watching, it was very, very nice to see that, that scene is from that card.
Yes. Yeah. The kids love that experience, which is, here's Rebecca, finally. We now know Rebecca. And it's every character in every new arc. It's like going to be the experience
you get to know them and you get to see who they really are.
Yes, that's an amazing experience. And it's also the attacks, it's the events. It's the
events are full of spoilers.
Yes, and it's because the events are the ones that have more or less screenshots from the anime, right? So they recognize that moment from, I've seen this in a card. Yes, I've seen this in a card. So it's like magical when that happens indeed. So maybe it's a good way for you to enter into One Piece card game and then watch the anime.
Yeah, it's a good thing to relate both things. And also it's there's another thing that the leader effects, they tend to get closer
to the character,
to the personality or to the character in the anime. Now there's a new, I'm going to spoil a lot of things. Now there's a new character that is Don Quixote do Flamingo. And like his ability, you put -1 Don and you get to choose a new target for the attack of the opponent. The opponent is attacking you. So you have the Flamingo, you put a Don away, you say, okay, now the attack doesn't come to me, it comes to this character. And in the anime is very sadistic.
Control, right?
He uses the strings to control. Is very sadistic, and it's like, I don't care if a partner of mine dies. to protect me.
Mhm.
It is a big villain.
Mhm.
And
No, it's not a spoiler. I've passed. At least for me, it's not a spoiler because I just ended Dressrosa. So yeah, he is already gone. I'm
yeah,
just after that. So just after that, I could spend the whole evening here talking about One Piece. But there's still another topic, and I'm not sure how much time this topic will consume because it's more on a serious kind of topic here. It's the fact that you also mentioned you are a nurse, right? So
yeah.
everyone knows that nurses, they work like by shifts and they work a lot, very hard. And how can you be a nurse and still have time to have YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, be a book influencer, play One Piece, create decks, go to the TCGs for tournament, all that, Miguel? So what's the secret? Which drug do you take?
It's a coffee.
Just coffee.
It's coffee. It's coffee. A lot of coffee. Nurses are moved by coffee, but not just coffee. I think that managing time, and we in nursing, we learn to manage time because sometimes we have a lot of patients to take care of. So we are always trying to make the good choices, and the choices, it was not the word I have to choose in made the
Are you gonna pick those 5 blues,
yeah,
Miguel?
yeah, it has to be.
Why not the red? That goes to
Oh, I
negatives,
didn't
right?
saw that. Yeah, everything goes negative. Yeah, because I misclicked it because I was not seeing properly. I was seeing
But you
aiming for
cannot
the red
do
for
right.
the third line, and I could not.
No, okay,
That's it.
okay.
But the thing about nursing, it's and when I say I'm a nurse, and people ask why do I read so much and why do I play board games, it's always good to have something to cope with, like to get out of your bad shifts, and you're having a bad shift, you had a bad,
Mhm.
and you get home and need to distract yourself, and these things, these worlds that you, universes that you go in, books, or being able to play a game and to be with your friends competing with something, it clears your head off, because sometimes the days are hard,
Yeah,
because you are working with people, they're in their hardest situation, and you have to, when you are there with them, you have to be on point. So it's always good to cope a little bit with it. The successful form to have time is just, it's doing, I think. And you always say, if you want something done, ask for someone who has a lot to do, because they'll manage to find a spot to do the thing for you. And I think that the more things I do, I think the more able I am to make them. I don't
okay.
know if that makes sense.
In a way, yes, right. It's like you need advice in your romantic life, and you would ask that advice to someone that has success in a romantic life because that will be the person that shows how that could be done. You don't ask for advices to people that are not successful in that area.
Yeah.
So if you need help, you ask to people that know how to multitask or process lots of tasks. Okay, is being a being a nurse in Portugal, is it a recommendable job for you? And I know that you are saying this publicly. So how do you see
Yeah.
being a nurse in Portugal today?
Being a nurse in Portugal, it's quite difficult. It's and not just being a nurse, being an health professional, as everyone works in shifts. Everyone works with
Mhm.
the hardest situation with people. They're ill. They're sometimes they're dying, and you have to deal with that, and to deal with the patients, with the families, with their situation, and you're just in the eyes of the government, and so you are just a number. um, for instance, in nursing, It's one of and medical and the doctors and the other health professions. They don't have like risk profession and a bonus of risk and a bonus of how do I say it in English? When you retired and you can retire earlier, you don't have the option of early retirement for working shifts or for having job that puts you to an extreme work mentally or physically, because you have to support people, you have to help them, and sometimes you make big efforts, and some people make injuries on their backs or so doing it. So I think it's hard to be a nurse in Portugal nowadays, and as the time goes by, even less nurses. We have less nurses here. People are going away. People are quitting nursing and finding jobs in other areas because. And I like 10 years ago or so, like in when we had that big crisis economically, nurses were gaining like €5 an hour, and cleaning people were gaining 7. So uh, people that clean a stair, they're needed, okay, but they don't have the same responsibility as a nurse.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
You never thought about moving abroad, like we see many nurses doing?
I thought about it, especially after my first job, because I quit it and then I put the papers to move abroad.
What stopped you?
And another hospital called me, and I said, okay, it was a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there 10 years. And I started a new job this year in January. And I was there 10 years. It was a big school and taught me a lot, and lots of opportunities. And I grew a lot as a person and as a nurse. But sometimes we have to change. That's the thing. And even nurses, I think nurses, they tend to feel a lot and to change a lot, because especially in the Algarve, we have a big lack of health professionals. There are a few doctors, there are a few nurses, and sometimes in the news they talk about it. They do the investigation, especially in the summer when we have a bigger amount of people in the area, and it's hard to get attended in the emergency rooms, and emergency rooms are full, and you see a lot of that investigation in the especially in the summer when it happens. But it's good to be a nurse, and I like what I do. It's not like I don't like it, but seeing the responsibility and the reward that our governors tend to look at us and put it on us. And we had the big example of COVID, that health professionals were the front line of everything. They were there every time, every hour, people doing amounts and amounts of shifts just to make sure that people were not dying. And in the end, it was like, oh, we're going to give you tickets to the Premier Championship of Championship League, I think. It's going to be made in Lisbon.
The nurse got tickets offered? That's what you're saying? I think I've heard about that.
Yeah, they offer it to the health professionals.
As a compensation for the efforts.
Yeah, for the effort, a compensation. Yeah.
You don't like
but
football?
It's not like it's a thing. They're going to give you a ticket to a football for spending 2 years.
COVID.
Yeah, in COVID, not knowing what you were taking care of, not knowing what it was, and that they didn't recognize the profession or the professions. to be a risk profession. Yeah.
I see what you mean. But if it was booster box of One Piece OP01, probably you would change your perspective.
No, I think I wouldn't change my mind because it was going to be good. I was going to for the football tickets. I didn't put. I think you had to fill a form and so on, and they would
Sure
make like a
controlled
giveaway or
delivery,
something.
a controlled delivery.
Yeah, a controlled delivery for it. But if it was a booster box, I probably would fill the form. But I wouldn't think that would be reasonable because it's not just these 2 years that passed away or in COVID. We don't know what might come in the future.
And you will feel the same kind of treatment from the government.
Yeah.
The same kind of attitude. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Miguel, I'm holding here the final 2 pieces because this is going to throw the end of the game. And I need to put them on negatives. And let's see what's going to happen here. And we are close to the end of our conversation before my last question. So let's see.
I think now it didn't end well to me.
You stole my last light blue piece when you took those 4. So I could not complete all the light blue ones. So I'll be missing 10 points because of that. But let's see the rest. The remaining points there. There's a column, another column. You also have a column there.
1-1.
Hey, I won this time. Okay, cool. So you won the previous one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're tied.
There's a draw. Unfortunately, there's no time for us to to decide which one would be the final winner. Maybe we need to connect again one day, find a topic, and then we decide who indeed is deserve of being the winner here in Azul. Maybe one day, physically, in a Lisbon game show, or
or in a board game convention.
Yes, maybe one day we'll settle this.
We'll settle the score. Yeah,
we'll settle the score one day, physically in person. Okay. Before we go, Miguel. So I always ask to everyone that comes into the show if they could recommend me someone to be a potential next guest in the show, someone with an interesting project, story, or profile. Who would you like to recommend?
Namira, Aurora.
Thank you for the recommendation, Miguel, and thank you for sharing with me all this book passion and what's happening out there in the world, as well as giving me the chance to speak with a fellow One Piece card game fan and share some of my things that I haven't had the chance to share here on these conversations. And if anyone is interested in watching this content being open, it's on the channel as well. The unboxing of all these starter decks and even the decks, I show them on the channel as well. Thank you, Miguel. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I hope that I can see you somewhere again because we need to settle the score here with Azul.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. And we go in person and meet up in some convention or something. And we play the last game, the final game. And many thanks for having me here and for the invite. It was a pleasure to spread this passion and to eventually bring more geeks. Come to the geek side of the force. Sexy geeks, yeah.
Yes.
Come to the side of the force.
The right side of the force. Thank you, Miguel. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.